With these task cards, we are going to be arranging numbers so that they make true proportions. So here's what the task card looks like. Alright, in this example, I have 3, 6, 10, and 5, and I need to place these so that the two ratios are equivalent. They've already placed the 3 for you. Now here's what you should be looking for. You should be looking for numbers that give you the same cross products. So I really want to look at patterns. So if I'm looking up here, I can see, wait a minute, if I group 3 and 10 together, I get 30, and if I group 6 and 5 together, I get 30. So I see that I have 3 at the bottom here, so that number needs to go with 10. So I'm going to write my 10 here, and then I'm going to look and see, okay, I need to think about this for just a second. My biggest number is on the top, my smallest number is on the bottom. I really need to make sure I'm doing that same thing. So here, 6 is going to go up here, and 5 is going to go down here. So when I cross multiply, 10 times 3 is 30, and 6 times 5 is 30. I also want you to see this relationship. 6 divided by 3 is 2, 10 divided by 5 is 2. So you can see there are lots of different patterns going here. So these two ratios form a proportion. Let's look in patterns for task card number 2. Alright, I already noticed that 45 is used down here, and I'm trying to look and see what kind of pattern I could get. Well, I know I've got to multiply 45 by something. So, and I know that 45 is my bigger one that goes here, so probably my other bigger number is going to go in the bottom. And I'm just kind of thinking this through right now. Alright, and then I got to think of what I would use. Okay, so 45 times 9 would probably be too big. So let's take my 2 and put it here. And then we're going to put my 9 here. And we're going to check them out. 2 times 45 is 90. And 9 times 10 is 90. So we have correct cross products. I also want you to notice this relationship. 9 45ths would reduce down to 1/5. And 2 over 10 also reduces down to 1/5. So lots of different relationships going on in this picture. So this is a correct proportion. If you think you understand, you can stop and go try some on your own, or you can keep listening and I'll do 2 more to get with you together. In this one, alright, I'm already noticing that 35 is my largest number and it's used right there. So I'm going to go ahead and look for my other largest number, 21, and I'm going to go ahead and put it here. Alright, and then I've got to think for just a second. What could I multiply to get same cross products here? This one's a little bit harder. I got to think a little bit more. But I can already think, oh, wait a minute, 35 is divisible by 5, and 21 is divisible by 3. So 35 divisible by 5 and 21 is divisible by 3. When I do that, here I get 7 and here I get 7. So I already know that that's a good relationship right there. And 35 times 3, I'm going to have to do that one out. So that's 105. And 21 times 5 is 105. So those give me the same cross products, so that's a correct proportion. I want you to notice that in the first proportion, it is improper. The second proportion also must be improper. Again, we're looking at relationships within those numbers. Alright, in this one, let's look. I've used 28. It is my largest number. My next largest number is 20. I'm going to think about putting it there. Okay? If I make a mistake, I can always change it. Alright, I'm going to start looking at relationships. Okay? What number is 20 divisible by? Well, I know it's divisible by 5, so let's try that. And then 28 is divisible by 7, so let's use that there. Okay? So I've used all my numbers, and then I'm going to go ahead and say, oh, wait a minute, that equals 4, and this equals 4. So I know already I've set it up pretty good. And then 20 times 7 is 140. And 28 times 5 will give me 5 times 140 as well. So this is correct proportion. So if you arrange them and they don't give you the same cross products, try again. Look for the relationships between the numbers.